wait till the whole world recognized. But first I had to pay some dues, a journey I took. Y'all couldn't walk in my shoes, a young buck, wild and tough from Tallahassee. Straight from South City in my pursuit to be happy. Came up out the hood with my hair all nappy, cut it all off. Took some name after my pappy, the streets tried to trap me. But I had to escape from my destiny to wait for me to be great. And I knew it, so the queen had to show approval when I do it, so it's stupid. Now you loving me like Cupid, and I know that you wasn't ready for this. I'm so on point with my targets, I'm sure I won't miss the past, present, and the future. She swear the household name, something to get used to. I'm here,
yeah. Hello, and welcome to the feature. I am your host, CJ3, Cliff Jackson, CJ3, I am he. Man, we still are doing our thing, man. Welcome to the show, the feature today, man. Whether you're tuning in live, catching this thing going by the replay, man, you don't want to miss today's show. We're so excited about what's going on today. As you can see, today is that day. It is Top 10 Thursdays. Yes, man, we here already getting to the final point of a great week, heading into Friday. But today is Top 10 Thursdays, man, so you already know we're finna get into it today. Our huge Top 10 topic today, as far as this segment of the show, this is where I have me a couple of opportunities where I talk about my top 10 of whatever it may be. And it just so happens today to be the top 10, CJ3's top 10 black superheroes and supervillains. We finna get into that, man, in just a few minutes. So y'all kick it right here. Don't y'all go nowhere. Don't touch that dial. Don't change the station. Don't change the channel. If anything, you need to have your behinds on YouTube and on Twitch and go subscribe to those channels because we definitely on there. So let me go ahead and put that out there and say hello to my features. What's happening, all my features? My continuous and most popular top fans, man. People that just come back every week, every day to come to the show, man, regardless of what we doing. They just love the show, man, regardless. So, welcome to the show, all my top fans, man. And for those who are tuning in by YouTube and Twitch and Facebook, man, welcome to the feature. So happy that you guys are here. And for those who are tuning in for the very first time, actually catching this thing live for the first time, man, you really heard this thing by word of mouth, timelines, or just, you know, the feature just kind of been on your brain a little bit, man. Welcome to the feature. All of y'all. You already know. Y'all could have been anywhere in this world today. Anywhere. But y'all decided to be with me tonight at 9 o'clock. And I truly, graciously appreciate that, man. So you already know how we do on this show. We can't do this thing without making sure we do the due diligence of the show. Because if you want to be on the feature, all you got to do is email me. Email me at thefeatured.cj3@gmail.com or contact me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at thefeatured with CJ3 on every single day, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Please, I encourage you, go subscribe to those channels. Also, go listen and download us on all your major outlet podcasts or wherever you go enjoy your podcast. And please, if you don't mind, tip us. Give us a donation. Support the cause, man. Please send your donation to our Cash App, $ Right Touch Sports, PayPal, paypal.me/RightTouchCJ3, or on Anchor at anchor.fm, the featured with CJ3. And tonight's show is brought to you by Commissioner Elaine Bryant. Commissioner Elaine Bryant is the Tallahassee City Commissioner, and she's running for seat 1 for the Tallahassee Commissioner. She's a businesswoman, has her own business at E.W. Bryant Associates, and she is on the ballot. She wants you to vote. So vote. Go and vote this Tuesday coming up, August 18th, at your local voting precinct. Again, this show tonight is brought to you by the Commissioner of Tallahassee, Elaine Bryant. And my next Feature Friday's guest this week, tomorrow, tune in, my boy, Coach Greg Ruffin, man. My alma mater, coach at Edward Waters College. Man, listen, one of the best HBCU football coaches in the country, leading my Fighting Tigers of Edward Waters College, man. Listen, you don't want to miss this. For those who are tuning into this thing, checking this thing out right now, you already know what time it is. You don't want to miss this awesome conversation with my boy, head coach Greg Ruffin. Welcome, man. So for those who are into this, you already know how I get to it, man. This is my top 10. It's top 10 Thursday. So this is my top 10 of anything and everything that I want to do it on, man. And tonight I decided to do it on superheroes and supervillains. Now, one thing I need for y'all to break this thing for yourself, man. I'm going to break this thing down for y'all. There's a difference between DC Comics and Marvel Comics. There's also a Image Comics. So there's so many different comics out there. Comic books and comical characters and all different type of creations and mutants and all that stuff, and I love that type of stuff. I really do believe it's superheroes and mutants out there today that might be doing some special things. I mean, it's a lot of mutant talk, especially with the athletes and whatnot that are out there, the gladiators, and they do some of the most extraordinary things. But everybody's always wanted to be a superhero. I've always wanted to have superpowers. I always wanted to be a superhero of some sort, some way. And this is my honorary way of honoring those black superheroes and supervillains that I've watched over the years. I've learned so much about them. I love Marvel Comics. I love DC Comics. I love comic books. I love the whole imaginary world of superheroes and supervillains. I mean, especially with now those guys being portrayed on film and looking just like the characters that I've watched and drew all my life. So, I mean, it's only right, man, to pay these people homage. Shout out to Lee Stan, man, who Stan Lee, one of the greatest comic writers, drawers ever, man, from Marvel, discovered and founded Marvel, man, and just a huge fan of his work and just the work that they've done over the years with comic books and stuff, man, and turning those things into movies. But this is on some straight comic book stuff. If you ain't read these comic books or don't know nothing about these things or these people, man, I'm about to bring y'all up to speed. Yes, people, there are more black comic book characters, superheroes, and supervillains out there besides Black Panther. Although he's on this list, I'm not going to shy away from that. He's definitely on this list. But I want to bring you guys up to speed as far as knowing that there are black superheroes and black supervillains that are highly, highly regarded in the comic book world. And I'm going to get right into them right now, starting at number 10 for the top 10 black superheroes and supervillains. So my number 10 top black superhero supervillain is Vixen. Whew. Now listen. Before we get into it, I know y'all like, Vixen? Who is that? Yes, Vixen is the bomb. When she first came into the game in 1981 in an Action Comics book, she's a DC comic superhero. She was a part of the Suicide Squad in the Justice League, with your boys Captain America and all that good stuff. She's a fictional character. Of course, you know, all Marvel characters, they have them characters coming from like Africa and all that stuff, but she was from Africa, and she was one of these famous supermodels there, and returned back to her homeland where she was given the mystical Tantu Totem by her uncle, and she soon discovers that the artifacts endows her with the ability to mimic any animal she chooses. And she's been a part, like I said, of the Justice League and the Suicide Squad. This is Vixen. This woman is high dollar. There's actually some conversation in the works right now for Vixen to actually have a movie being portrayed she's being portrayed by, the conversation has been Jada Pinkett Smith. Don't know how far that's in the works due to the COVID stuff, and I don't know, but I do know that a movie was being created by Jada Pinkett and Marvel and DC Comics to portray Vixen. And yeah, that actually happens. That's going to be something big. Maybe we'll find out about all the entanglements she got going out. Number 9. Falcon. Falcon. For those who do not know about Falcon, listen, man. This brother has appeared on a couple of Marvel comic comic books. At the same time, he's first appeared in a Captain America comic book back in 1969. So this is to let you know, man, these have definitely been out for a long time. While the Black Panther, the ruler of Africa's mythical kingdom of Wakanda, is Marvel's first black superhero. The Falcon, also known as Sam Wilson, that's his real name in mainstream comics, he's the first headlining comic African American comic crime fighter. He's the first headlining comic ever. So he was a product of Harlem. You know, his whole situation was with in the Rio de Janeiro area. We had gotten a plane crash, and all of a sudden he becomes Captain America's trusted partner in a couple of opportunities that came across, and he just has this whole thing about him, man, where he can telepathically link to a Red Wing, and Red Wing is another comic, but here's this person here. He can see through over 6 billion birds' eyes. Like he has that type of capability, man, and he has a cool thing. He can fly. His wings shoot out little sharp little lasers and whatnot at people. So Falcon, man, listen, he's definitely one of those comics that I've always enjoyed, superhero that I've always enjoyed, and watching him actually in the Captain America movies, he's definitely portrayed by a very good actor. I can't think of bruh's name, but he's played in some really good movies, and he actually played Papa Doc on 8 Mile, and he played Falcon, in the Captain America movie. So he got a movie coming up too. They're starting to do a whole lot more black Marvel comic, DC comic movies coming up soon. So looking forward to that Falcon movie, man. Up next, number 8, Luke Cage. Luke Cage, man, I know y'all have probably heard of this brother. He actually has a series that comes on Netflix called Luke Cage. He was also known as Power Man. And Luke Cage, man, this brother here is official. He's a Marvel Comics, published by Marvel Comics. He first appeared in 1973. He was framed for drug possession and sentenced to prison after being transferred to the notorious Seagate facility in Georgia. He became a part of a biochemical corrupted system, and man, all of a sudden his arms just all of a sudden just became everything. The controls accelerated while he was in that biochemical laboratory, and they was trying to give him some treatment, and all of a sudden his strength accelerated, his healing. He got bulletproof skin, and nearly unbreakable bones. Like, this brother here is badass, man. Always have been. He got a great show. He actually showed up as far as his first official comic book was The Hero for Hire, and he's partnered up with a couple of folks like Iron Fist. He's led the Avengers and the Thunderbolts, which are Marvel teams and DC comic teams that are pretty much assembled and assigned to particular superheroes, man. So Luke Cage, man, got his own show. Number 8, definitely one of my favorites. Number 7, Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales. His first appearance was in 2004 in the Ultimate comic book the comics Fallout. This, I don't know if y'all have heard of this brother. I'm sure you have. He actually has a movie that just came out like a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago. He was the Black Spider-Man. Miles Morales, he got his powers after he got bitten by Oscorp, which is an enhanced spider. And soon that he discovered that he has developed similar powers to his reality's Spider-Man, and at the time, Spider-Man was killed. So he's actually Afro-Latin, so he can produce venom blasts, heals faster than normal human beings, and he can use his spider camouflage to sneak up on would-be foes. So this brother here, man, he uses his spidey senses, and yeah, he's official, man. So any Spider-Man character that comes out of the comic book world, man, anybody who portrays Spider-Man, knowing that we have our own Spider-Man, the Black Spider-Man, that's hella hot. Number 6, Cyborg. Cyborg, man. Listen, man. Half man, half metal. This brother here did his thing. He's a part of the DC comic family. He actually came in. His first appearance was in 1980 in the DC Comics Presents comic books. And this brother, he was, as you know, they all have a backstory. That's what's so cool about these Marvel comics. Like, they really go in behind the scenes and create these people's lives, like, out of nowhere, man. But this brother here, he had an IQ so enhanced that while his intelligence greatly increased, he just became this everything. He was a star athlete, and some crazy things happened, man. He fell into a gang banging crowd, and got into the streets. But while he was visiting his parents at the Star Lab, which is pretty much something that it's like a laboratory for technology. He's nearly killed by an accident caused by dimensional travel technology, and in an attempt to save Cyborg, whose real name is Victor, they grafted some cybernetic synthetic nerves based on his spine and replaced his limbs and half of his face with molybdenum steel, which is some real stuff. However, they utilize so many real technology words